What's going on? What's going on? What's going on, man? It's Cash Media. Y'all already know, man. Be back at it again. Here to talk some NBA. Y'all already know, man. It's NBA playoffs. Nuggets steal the deal. They're in the finals. And we still got this Boston and Heat series going on. Miami, obviously, the unlikely opponent to be in the conference finals. But we getting back to back, man. We're getting back to back. And Miami Heat looks to be taking this to the finals. At least that's the way we see it thus far. No team has ever came back from being down 0-3 or 3-0, however way you like to put it. But, we're going to see the climax of this matchup that we've seen between the Miami Heat and the Boston Celtics, which have faced off in 3 of the past 4 years to go to the finals. All right, so it's going to be a very, very crazy thing to see, what team comes out of this, but more than likely it's going to be the Miami Heat. Right, so y'all tuning into the title, right? Y'all already know what it is. We're going to debate about what's been going on. I know it's been a minute, but we're here to rev it up and get things going. Right, so I don't even want to, hold it in. I know, AK, you over there itching to get whatever you need to say out of there. So I'm gonna give you the floor, man. So
Yes, sir. You already know. There is nothing much to say. In the end of the day, I'm the best analyst here because only my prediction ever hit. Not this guy Josh, not Cash, no fucking anyone else. Only my prediction hit, and that's all that matters. All that shit y'all been saying. In the end of the day, none of your teams lived up to the hype. They all fucking flopped, and Nuggets on top. Jokic will get a chip, Finals MVP, be the best player in the league, and the case is closed. They demolished your fucking Lakers. They demolished LeBron. They demolished another legend, KD, with the Suns. Well, and demolished Tim's. We're not going to talk about Tim's, but Suns with KD and Lakers with LeBron. Yeah, that's a legendary fucking series for the Nuggets.
You think so? You really think it's you classify as a legendary series?
How is it not? You've got top two.
It's not. I'm asking for your opinion. I want you to kind of like clarify that a little bit more.
Well, I do think because a whole lot of people consider LeBron and KD the best players. LeBron is in that all-time great talks, and KD, as Josh would say before the series, is the best player in the league. So I think there is a lot of hype for that, and the fact that Nuggets demolished both of them deserves a whole lot of respect.
See, so a couple things to take away from there. But Josh, I want to let you get in on this too. By the way, if you guys are tuning in, like and subscribe. Josh, tap in, man. What you got to say? What you got to say about what AK said, man? He said we all wrong. He said he right, we all wrong.
Hey, bro, that's crazy, bro. You do have to give the man credit for getting his prediction right, bro. But like to say you're the best analyst on all of us, fam. Bro, just because you got one aspect of the game right, you can't go ahead to say you're the best analyst here, bro. Like that's such a wild claim to say, bro. You know what I mean? And like that, I'm gonna leave it at that, bro. Like, what do you got to say, bro? How you gonna say you're the best? And you got one prediction right, AK. I could go through all the predictions you got wrong, bro. All the predictions you
Bro,
got
my
wrong.
one prediction is shadows all of you because my prediction is the one that actually went to the finals, just like I predicted at the start of the year.
Okay, bro, but that's just one thing, bro. Like, bro, at the end of the day,
That's the only thing that fucking matters. What do you mean that's one thing?
bro, at
It's
the
the
end of
whole
the day,
thing.
you got the Nuggets going to the finals, but you also had the Bucks going to the finals, bro. So like, what do you have to say about that?
Bro, no. Well, maybe so. But But
Hold on. But in fairness to you, but in fairness to that thought, I mean, that's nobody had the Heat beating the Bucks in the first round to begin with.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So like we none of us could really say like, oh yeah, you know, we had the Heat. A lot of us had the Bucks at least going to the second round. So you can't put that on him like he's the only one that picked the Bucks.
Hey, bro, but tell me how the Knicks won more games than the Bucks did against the Heat, bro.
I mean, that's what happened, bro. But
Like it's not just like it's not just like people didn't pick the Bucks to beat the I mean the Heat to beat the Bucks. Yeah, nobody picked the Heat to beat the Bucks. But at the same time, bro, people were talking about this Bucks team like it was a foregone conclusion that they're going to win a championship, bro. Like people are saying that, oh, Giannis is this upper echelon superstar, like KD was in his prime, like LeBron was in his prime. Bro, there were a lot of conversations saying that he'll retire as a top 10 player. Giannis was never that dude, bro. And AK thought he was that dude. AK thought that Giannis was the second best player in the league, bro. You know what I mean? And
No, hold on, because you going off topic because I want to try to keep it on this, but because we not talking about the Bucks like that. We trying to keep it at you know at least what we talking about right now. So with your predictions, right? First off, you know, congratulations on the Nuggets. That's for one. You know, because this is their first finals appearance.
Thank you.
You know, in their franchise history. So at least you know I got to speak on that. Got to give credit to that because they are in the finals. You know, they have the Western Conference Finals at this moment. Now, as far as like you being the best analyst, whatsoever, you know, all that jizz and jazz whatsoever. Come on, bro. You know, let's be honest here, dog.
Did your prediction hit? Did Lakers go to the finals?
A lot of my
Lakers go to the finals.
Hold on, because you holding your head high, man. Because this is your one pick. Bro. I can go through videos of you saying wrong shit, bro. Like we literally have you live on air making a prediction or making your quote unquote analogies being wrong on air, bro. You were wrong within 30 minutes of us streaming. So it's you can have a right prediction, you can have a right analogy, bro. But that's not to say, you know, a lot of us have spoken on a bunch of different things. Now, going to this situation with Jokic, right? My stance has always been, right? Because you know we want to pick and choose what we want to listen to, so I have to resurface the thing that I said in the past, right? It's not about the fact that you know I looked at this Nuggets team and said, you know, that they're not a good team. You know, they don't have what it takes, you know, to win. My stance was just, you know, you have to prove it at the end of the day. You have to show it at a national level that you can compete with some of these teams. Now, I think in all fairness to me, right, that those are fair points. Those are fair analogies to say, okay, I see a good player. I see a transcending player. I see one of the best players in the league. I see a great team, but it doesn't mean anything if you have nothing to stand on, right? Now, I want to bring up something that, you know, that is related to the title. You know, Mike Malone was speaking up on, you know, giving, you know, Jokic his respect. And then, you know, a lot of people kind of giving that doubt and saying, hey, you know, he's just not that guy. But I don't see how he hasn't gotten his respect, you know, in areas where it's not deserved, or in areas where he deserved it, where there was something to compliment Jokic on, it was given. Where if there was something that he could have gotten, he was given it, right? So at least from his standpoint, to say give the guy, you know, give Jokic his respect. First off, I would like to at least say that he definitely deserves respect for this year. I mean, as far as you know, this playoff run, you know, given certain context and you know what went down in the West this year, give or take, it's still a really great playoff run. But I don't feel like, the Nuggets in Jokic weren't getting well, at least not with this year, because I'll at least be honest, this year there was a lot of speculation, but that is because, we hadn't seen, them being in that, that circle to go to the finals in a couple years, right? Even with a couple years ago in 2020, when they had their postseason run, they were a top Western Conference seed at that time, right? They were a top seed at that time when they were going to the playoffs, or not even that. I believe it was even the following year after the bubble. They were one of the best teams, and then Jamal Murray got injured in the playoffs, and then it went from there, right? So with that being said, I'll give credit for this playoff run. He made it to the finals, but all it takes for him to ink in this year, to stamp in this year, is for him to become a champion. So the way I look at it from my position, he deserves, win or lose, he definitely deserves a lot of respect, but he can't flip the chapter just yet until he closes out this finals. So you can take what you want from that. Let me know what you think.
Amen. Jokic definitely deserves more credit,
Mhm.
but I don't want to give him too much credit. That's the thing, you know?
In the end of the day, would Josh? Because
Yo,
I know what Pat is about to say, but would you say that Embiid robbed his MVP?
no, definitely not, bro. Even though Jokic is by far the better player at this point, and he's showing that he's the best player in the league. Don't get me wrong, because I mean, there's he just is, bro. Embiid fucking flopped, and Jokic rose to the occasion, which means he's the best. So yeah, bro. Um, I still think Embiid had a better season. Embiid was looking like the better player, but it turned out that Jokic was just the better player, bro. At the end of the day, the things I thought would be Jokic's weakness, like his lack of dominance and relying too much on floaters and like hook shots, actually turned out to be a strength, because Al Horford was fucking bitching Embiid because Al Horford's a strong ass guy, and that, I don't know, I guess he just amped it up his strength during the playoffs. Where Jokic, even though AD is way more physical than Jokic, it doesn't matter, because Jokic, he scores by skill. He scores by 3-pointers. He scores by hook shots. He doesn't rely on athleticism. And that actually turned out to be an advantage. And I thought that'd be a weakness. So that was very interesting to see. But Embiid still had the better season, but Jokic is the better player. Sorry if I went on a rant.
Well, that's a negative, but sure.
I mean, my thing about this argument, or at least this conversation with the MVP situation, I know for a fact that you're trying to bring this up because of the recent playoff performances. I know that's what you're using.
I'm actually not like I'm
No,
agreeing
but
that it's a regular
you're
season award, and I'm not trying to bring the fucking the postseason. But what I'm trying to bring out actually is a little different question. How
but
much?
hold on, but don't you understand that if you ask that question now, there's going to be recency bias, right? As opposed to us answering that question before the
Yeah, that's
playoff.
a good point from Cash, bro. Like, why are we even talking about the MVP, bro? That's been happening,
You know
Like,
what I'm
I
saying?
agree with
Because
Cash, bro. That's a good point.
remember,
Because how can Embiid go to sleep at night knowing that he got MVP and had such a shitty season, bro? He might as
Bro,
well
what?
retire after that.
bro, he didn't have a shitty season. So he had, so he was awarded MVP. That's quite literally opposite of having a shitty season. So the only shitty season that you're referring to is the postseason, correct?
But I mean, that's part of it.
All right, bro. But remember, your stance, you and Will's stance was saying that the MVP was a regular season award, bro. Keep that stance. Don't
Yeah,
switch up
that's not
now
what I'm
because you're
saying.
trying to you trying.
I'm talking about how can Embiid go to sleep at night knowing that he flopped like that in a postseason when he got an MVP award.
I mean, any player is gonna get criticism in that situation, bro. Like Embiid is not special in that regard, and then that's why I point out, that fact last, numerous times, right? When you're an MVP, you have a certain level of expectations. You have to meet some said level of expectation. Now, Embiid does take a hit, right? I mean, he's the only MVP to have not gotten to a conference finals in NBA history, right? And then so that's a bad thing to have tagged, on you, But that's why I've said in the past that playoffs do matter when you putting that into effect when you're having this conversation about MVP. Even though I feel like your most recent playoff performance, it shouldn't hold 100% weight or even 80% weight into the MVP conversation. But I feel like when you factor that in, I think it gives room for improvement, for that said player. So that's the reason why I said playoffs does matter. That's why you see situations where there's voters fatigue, and you'll see voters vote for another player because they've seen them kind of flip the script or fumble the bag in the playoffs, right? That's why that same argument was used against Jokic last year. Some people were saying that, myself included, when I was saying, look, he was an MVP player, but he lost out of the first round, right? So some people use that as leverage, or some people would see that and be like, well, we have to see more from him this year in order for us to feel confident moving forward to truly feel like he is the best player in the league. Because the only way for you to prove that, the only way for you to test that and show that, is to compete in the playoffs and show that you can compete with other teams and other players. And understand this though, bro. Like, remember, Josh's takes or anybody else's takes is not my take. I don't take the stance that other people take. You can hold it to an individual. If you remember and can quote them. But remember, I was never on that page to say KD was the best player in the league. Not in this situation. I felt like in KD's situation, he was in that circle where he needed to reassert his NBA dominance once again, and he's still in those crossroads. Having to be traded to the Phoenix Suns. So I just at least wanted to clarify that, but just leave it at that. So another thing now, Celtics and Heat, right? That series. So let's go back to that before we talk about anything else. So the Celtics and Heat, right? Miami is up 3-1. Celtics, they won their first game in that series yesterday. Either you guys can start. What's your opinion on this? How do you feel about the Heat, being up 3-0? Can the Celtics come back? How do you feel about this next game coming up in the TD Garden in Boston? Let me know. So, by the way, if you guys are watching, like the video, man. Show your support. So, what's up? What's your thoughts on this?
Hey, bro, I have pretty strong thoughts on this, bro, and I'm going to keep it quick. The media is lying to you. The media is lying to you about the Miami Heat, bro. The Miami Heat are not beating the Celtics. The Celtics are beating the Celtics, bro. The Celtics are a better team than Miami Heat, plain and simple. Yeah, their shots aren't falling. That's about it. Their shots aren't falling. Jaylen Brown is getting roasted, rightfully so. Tatum, he can't score. He's very cold. And yeah, it's just it's sad to see, but the Celtics just aren't playing well, and I don't know why they're not playing well. Maybe it's as simple as their shots aren't falling, but there comes to a certain point in time where it's hard to think why a team could be so bad for so long, but the Celtics are better than the Heat. They just are. So yeah, they're just not playing good.
AK.
Well, I think we can clearly see a coach issue that they have a shit rookie coach that does terrible uh, alterations and rotations.
I
That
don't know if it's a coach, bro. I don't know if it's a coach
mm,
because the Celtics were playing fine all season, bro. They played fine in the playoffs, bro. Tatum had 50 in Game 7. Tatum dropped 50 in Game 7 against the Sixers, but suddenly he struggles to get 20. You're telling me that's a coaching thing, bro? No, bro, they're just playing bad. I don't know what it is, bro. They're just like
bro,
it's like
but
they beat the Sixers. They got so happy, and then like they just got caught off guard, bro. They were playing like too loose. They weren't playing with enough fire because they beat the Sixers. They thought they acted like they won the championship because it was so hard of a series, and then the Heat caught them off guard. Because remember, the Heat had like a week of rest before they got to play the Celtics, and the Heat were probably plotting during that time. The Heat were probably stressing their ass off, like guys coming for war, while the Celtics were just happy and coasted because they beat the Sixers, bro. Like, I don't think it's a coaching thing, bro. I just don't. I think the Celtics have a lack of leadership. I don't think Jason Tatum's a leader. I don't think Jalen Brown's a leader. Marcus Smart tries to be a leader, but I don't know.
Mhm.
I think to be a good leader, you also have to be a star on the basketball court, bro. Even though Marcus Smart's the leader, he's not a good leader because his basketball play isn't, out of this world or anything.
Mhm.
There's a reason why a team like the Lakers went to the conference finals because you have a leader like LeBron James. That's where I'll give LeBron James credit. LeBron James is a leader. That's why, the Miami Heat are able to do what they do because Jimmy Butler's a leader, bro. Jimmy Butler's 20 times a leader than anyone on the Celtics, bro. And I think you guys would agree.
No, I agree 100%. I agree with that 100%.
You know what I'm saying, fam?
mm, I
Yeah.
mean, Celtics do certainly have a better squad. That's for sure.
I mean, my thing about it is with the Heat. I mean, every team that the Heat has went against, they've been better. I mean, come on, bro. They have Caleb Martin coming off the bench, looking like sixth man of the year. They have Gabe Vincent
That's
dropping,
crazy, bro.
dropping, dropping 29, bro,
Gabe Vincent looking like prime Dame, bro.
hitting like five shots, bro. 5 threes, bro. So my thing about it is, I mean, the Heat just plain and simple just wanted more. They were favored against the Bucks, they were favored against the Knicks, and then they were favored against the Celtics. So I mean, it really does come down to, it comes down to two factors, and it's pretty simple. The Heat wanted more, and they're playing well. Their play reflects that, and the Celtics are sluggish, right? And that's a part of what you were getting at, Josh, is that the Celtics, there does seem to be, a lack of leadership revolving around this team. Jason Tatum, even though he's a transcendent talent, he plays extremely well. A lot of his shot selections be rather questionable. In my perspective, like a lot of those threes, I feel like if he were to challenge himself and go to the rim more and challenge the rim more, he would have a lot more. He would have a lot more free throw opportunities, which I'm confident that he can knock more of, right? And then he would be a harder player to contain. But if you limit Jason Tatum to a 3-point shooter, a player that's shot religiously between 30 and 35% from three, then you have a better advantage of keeping the Celtics or keeping them offensively limited. So, the thing about it is, man, the Heat, they're playing like a completely different team, right? They've been the best team all year defensively, but on the offensive end, they've been one of the worst teams offensively in the NBA. I mean, we're talking about a team that's 27th ranked in offense, but they've been probably they've been one of the top offensive teams in the playoffs, right? So these are completely different circumstances. This is a completely different ballpark. Jimmy Butler has increased his productivity by tenfold, so he's a completely different player than what we've seen throughout the season, but that's understandable. We've seen that before, but you're having guys step up, which is the most important thing about that, right? Jimmy Butler is the star and the leader of that squad and leading the charge on the offensive side, and then you're having guys, following after them. Duncan Robinson is coming off the bench. He hadn't played well all year, and then you got him knocking down threes. Max Strus, he's been knocking down threes, also giving you productivity, giving you more than 12, giving you more than 12 points in their lineup, right? Gabe Vincent has been, besides the fact that he dropped 29 in that playoff game, he's been religiously at least getting 5 assists in each of these games in the playoffs. So you're having a wide variety of players contributing. And it falls to so many different factors when you're talking about the Miami Heat organization. And it starts with Jimmy, then it goes to Eric Spoelstra, and then even at the top with Pat Riley. So the Heat are, they're driving right now with a lot of momentum. They've had an extremely tough road, probably the toughest road in the NBA Finals thus far. And I don't believe the Celtics are going to beat the Heat. It's probably going to finish in the TD Garden next game, because the Boston Celtics have had their worst game outcomes on the road, with them being 4-6 at home. So I do predict Miami Heat taking it in Game 5. But the series is over. It's all said and done. There's nothing really to discuss. I don't see the Celtics, being able to come back 0-3. They're showing their Celtics pride by, not losing in the conference finals, and then for the first time for two teams to be swept in the conference finals. So, they're trying to hold their heads out high. Even with Brogdon, I think in the past 2 games, I don't know about last game if he had how many points he had, but I know in the game before that he was, he had 0 points last game, and this is coming from your 6-man. So, and even with Jason, we've spoke on Jason Tatum and how poorly he's shooting also, not including last game, but Jaylen Brown also has had he's had a couple poor shooting nights on his end also. Right, so that's my take on it, man. Celtics have clearly been a disappointing team, but they did it to themselves, though. The Boston Celtics did it to themselves. They didn't need to fire their coach. They didn't need to let Ime Udoka go, and they didn't need to give Joe Mazzulla, a rookie head coach, contract extension when there was nothing to prove yet. We already knew that the Boston Celtics were a good team. We already knew that they can contend for a title. The difference was this year is that you have a new system in place. You have a new coach in that position, and that whatever worked last year isn't going to work this year because you have 2 different things.
For sure, that's a great point. They didn't need to fire Ime Udoka. Why would you fire a coach that took you to the finals, bro? Why? Because of cancel culture? That's what it is. That's the only reason they fired him, bro. Because of cancel culture. But it comes to a point in time where if you're a strong man in society, if you're the Celtics GM, I don't know what his name is. There comes a point in time where you say, no.
Decision by Brad Stevens, though, the former head coach. Because remember, he was the former head coach and he got promoted.
Yeah. If you're Grant Stevens, bro, you need to show strength and say no to cancel culture, bro. You need to say that this coach brought us to the finals. Maybe we suspend him for a month or 2 months, to get the message across. But you don't fire a finals coach, especially one with a young core. Like that. It was such a stupid decision, bro. It was stupid. It was actually stupid, bro. And he showed weakness by doing that, bro.
I got you. No, I got you.
I agree, but it's not my biggest issue. Is I think that was unnecessarily and really stupid decision. But my bigger issue is how they gave a contract extension, like you said, to the rookie coach. Bro hasn't proved shit, and they already gave him a extension. Bro, He just should have paid for, well, this season, see how he does, and then if he did well, give him an extension.
Yeah,
How you already gave him an extension when he didn't do shit, and
yeah.
yeah, and obviously it didn't pay off.
Mm. Because now they signed him, and it's gonna raise even more questions. If they after this season. But I think since they didn't get swept, I think it poses a different question. The situation is entirely different, or just a little bit different. But regardless, and even if they win the second game too, I still think that the circumstances are just a little bit different. Because at the end of the day, remember they're still in the conference finals. This is the second year in a row they went to the conference finals. So it's not like he's too far off. He's literally one series away from going to the finals. That can easily be changed with adjustments, the experience that you have being in certain situations that he's not accustomed to, and then making those adjustments and learning from those mistakes. So the opportunity for Joe Mazzulla is certainly there. He has a lot of opportunity to build, to learn from the situation. And then, obviously you go into the offseason, you go into free agency, and then Boston is going to make the requisite moves to make their team better, right? Because it doesn't just fall on the coach, it falls on your players also, right? So
But you see, they were barely on the thread. They barely made it past all this. The teams they were playing, they beat the Hawks in 7 games. Like it shouldn't have taken a number.
no, it was 6, bro.
No, it was 7, 100%.
No, was it?
Yeah, it was 7
No,
games.
it was not 7, bro.
It was.
No 6, bro.
It was
Talking,
7.
coming in here talking about best analyst.
It was 7.
No, it
Bro, how you the
wasn't.
best analyst? Bro, getting things wrong, bro.
Go
It
look.
was not. Trust me, we would hear a lot more about that.
I was here. Bro, do you mean go look? I was here on this planet, bro. I remember it was 6.
5, 6, 7. Regardless, it should have
No,
been.
there's no 6, 7.
That's a big difference, though. Yeah, it is 6.
6 games with that and 7 games with Sixers. Like they were barely on the thread. Barely.
That's not barely on the thread, bro. 6 games isn't a barely on the thread. Like barely on the thread is like game 7, close game down to the wire. That's like barely on the thread. Like you can go to game 7 and then let's just say you beat them out the bricks. Nobody's talking about the 76ers, but remember though, that's why y'all have to take into effect like a 7-game series and what that means in the NBA. You know what I mean? Because you're true, like all those mistakes that you see during the season, all those fatalities that team makes during the year, they're going to shine more than they've ever been, right, in a playoff game. And so that's why adjustments are important. That's why coaching decisions are important, in these situations. So, I mean, in understanding this though too, the 76ers were one of the teams that were also favored, to go to the finals also. So in that second round, we had all agreed that was going to be, one of the toughest series to watch, and it was kind of a close call. And even with that being said, remember, AK, you chose the Celtics to beat the 76ers. So, and myself included. So it's not like we expected the Celtics, or at least in my account, I didn't expect the Celtics or the 76ers to get ramrodded over by one team or the other. My point was the fact that, this is going to be a tight series. It's gonna go down the wire, and one team's going to prevail. Right? So I agree that the Hawks shouldn't have won those 2 games. Like I think one would have been, much more convincing, but you still have to look at those games and give credit to how the Hawks, showed heart and energy. You know what I mean? Like I could say the same thing with Nuggets. The Nuggets and the Timberwolves, they're leagues ahead of the Timberwolves. And I felt like those 2 games with the Timberwolves, they shouldn't have had those games. But nonetheless, they knocked them out of here. And I don't think that's a reason to hold against them. I don't think that's any reason to hold against them as long as they won the series. At least with a 2-game difference, because even with 2 games won, I don't think that's enough to hold the team to accountability, especially considering that there's at least 3 home games in a series. So that, remember that those situations do apply when you're talking about home court advantage. Also, the Celtics are just the only team that has a losing record in the playoffs at home.
Well,
Right? So
Hey man, that's crazy. A losing record in the playoffs.
at home too.
damn,
Yeah, I
that's
knew in the conference finals.
which
That's
is which considered like the hardest place to play like as a away team in Boston.
Yeah.
Quite ironic.
But remember though, it's different when we're talking about other teams, like 76ers and the Hawks. I'll give credit and say, like, those teams shouldn't have been able to steal games at home. But I think it's a different conversation when we're talking about the Heat. Those first 2 games, I don't believe that the Celtics should have lost both those games. Obviously, that's what made this situation a complete disaster to begin with for the Celtics, and why we look at this series as is, with the Heat potentially moving forward to the NBA Finals, right? But the Heat have been really good on the road. They've taken those opportunities to steal those games on the road. Because remember, understand, when you're the 8th seed, you're playing through the road. You don't have no home court advantage. So you have to win games on the road. There's no excuse about it.
Yeah.
That's why I say, it's not a series until a team wins on the road, because that is one of the ultimate deciding factors or indicators that shows which team is going to win the finals. Or not the finals, but just win the series.
No, for sure, bro.
You know what I mean? So we finished at least our topics, but I want to go back to one of the questions that we talked about. AK, I want to hear your opinion on this, man.
On what?
So let's go back to this Mike Malone thing, because I don't think I heard your full opinion on it. So do you think Jokic doesn't get respect? The respect that he deserves?
I think, yeah, I think he doesn't actually. People, you see, I actually think there is a huge issue within NBA, and and that issue was pointed out by JJ Redick, and I think that's a really good take, and people don't talk about enough about that. All the news that everyone talks about only Lakers and LeBron. Like every fucking news is always about Lakers and LeBron, and people are like surprised. Wow, I didn't know Jokic had all that. Like, of course they don't, because everyone's always talking about LeBron and Lakers. Like, how when I'm looking at the game 4, when the Lakers are about to be eliminated, every stat that they're showing, every statistic, every highlight, it's always Lakers. They're about to get swept, and it's still always Lakers, 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 LeBron, LeBron, LeBron. I think that's the issue. That's a massive issue with NBA. And I think Josh will agree with me, and Hawk too. Well, you might too.
Yeah, I mean,
What you think, Josh?
does the media always talk about the Lakers?
No. That's his point. Does Jokic get disrespected, or does he not get the respect he deserves?
Um, before he didn't, and you know, we do have to give Artem some credit, bro, because he was right when it comes to Jokic being the best player in the world. So yes, before he didn't, but now he absolutely is, bro. Now everybody's hopping on the bandwagon that Jokic is the best player in the world, and it's because you kind of have to, bro. I have to, as much as I don't like it, I have to, because Jokic he's shown that he is, plain and simple. But now I think that he is getting his respect. Like, because at the time Mike Malone said that comment, it wasn't true. Like, if he said Jokic like didn't get respect in the past, then yeah, okay, that would be accurate. But bro,
But that's what he
now
meant. That's what
after
he
he did what
meant.
he
But I think there was some context with recency bias, though. Like I think he was alluding to some parts to what AK was talking about, like talking about the Lakers and all that, and after the Nuggets won. So don't get me wrong. I know that there's some credibility when it comes to that, but I think I think they're talking about some things that were happening throughout the entire season, not just recently. But continue. I just wanted to chime in on that.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, bro. But now, if you look at the situation present time, Jokic is the best player, bro. I admit that. Cash, do you think Jokic is the best player right now in the world?
I think he's in position. I think he's in position to do so. Like I said, he just has to cash it in. I mean, he's definitely playing like it. So I'm not gonna say other. I'm not speaking otherwise, right? Because my biggest thing for clarification is the results. Now, as far as like the credibility, honestly, AK bro, coming from you, this is complete and utter bullshit, bro.
Damn.
Jokic gets so much credit, bro.
What the
You
fuck?
from you yourself
No, he
included.
doesn't.
Hold on, because here's where I'm gonna catch you, and here's where you contradict yourself. Big freaking time. Is
Damn.
he not a two-time league MVP? Has he not been an all NBA player back to back? As far as I'm concerned, that's the biggest freaking respect you can give a player, right? If they're said being well. Remember, he got the MVP award as with him being the 6th seed last year, right? So if he wasn't getting the respect he deserved, he wouldn't be getting MVPs. So at least on my stance, right? My thing about it is, and understand this though, also you have to factor in the markets, right? There's so many things that applies in this situation, especially when you're talking about the Nuggets and the Lakers. The Nuggets don't compare to the Lakers, bro. When you're talking about a said market, the Lakers are literally a national brand. Lakers are known everywhere. The Nuggets, and you have somebody like Jokic who doesn't really speak all that much. He's not really like a box office player when it comes to off the court, but I don't think that's really a problem.
Okay.
He's certainly being pretty.
And is that not an issue?
No,
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's an issue, but that adds into that in itself is going to bring, more eyes, around your game, right? So when you have let's just say like Jokic, he's not really a flashy player, like you said. He's a guy where his game is driven off skill, playmaking, rebounding. It's not necessarily the flashiest thing, but understand that I can give you this example right here. John Morant is more popular than Jokic to an extent. Why? Because his play is a little bit more energetic, electrifying. He's a high flyer. He's athletic. But that's not to say that he's anywhere even better than Jokic. So to say that Jokic hasn't given him his respect, I feel like he's gotten the utmost respect to where he could get that respect. My only thing is that you can't give him credit for the things that he hasn't done. Right. And then that has been in the past, some playoff failures, as much as every other player has experienced in the past. So that's why I say you have to cash your check when you're able to, instead of giving it, and then it bounces. So that's how I feel on it.
All right. Yo, Josh,
Yo.
do you not see it as an issue that what I brought up before that?
Nah, bro. Cash, we have to side with AK on this, bro. Because at the end of the day, bro, we did not see Jokic being this dominant, bro. Cash.
No,
what you need?
No. Stop that for yourself, bro. Because nobody said anything about Jokic not like being this. Like my thing about it, like I said, prove it and let's see it for ourselves. I didn't say anything in saying he can't do it. I can predict against it, but that's not to say like as an individual player what he can do on the court that can affect the play of the team or the adjustments of the team against him. So that's not my stance. I'm not with you on that, bro. I don't have
Yeah,
to.
I know.
I
Yeah,
don't have
but
to look
Cash,
at.
bro. But Cash, like you need to understand, fam, that like I get what you're saying, bro, and I'm gonna respond to like what you're saying. You can't be on defense every time, bro. But like Cash, by you putting other players over Jokic, by default, like you're like criticizing Jokic, bro. Even me, bro. Like I never said anything bad about Jokic, but I had him number 5 in my top 5, bro, which automatically disrespects Jokic by me
Yeah,
having
and
other
you
people
have him
over
in your
him.
top five. When did I have him in my top five? When did I have him at 5? I didn't have him at 5. What did I say? I said before. I said the best 3 players in the league right now are the 3 players that has been consecutively in the conversation for MVP.
You didn't
Those are
have
the 3
Curry.
players.
You
I
didn't
didn't
have Curry over Jokic.
Curry.
Yeah.
We would have to go back on, but I probably said that after last year, after they had won the championship. But
hmm
the playoffs. This is a new playoffs, so you have an entirely new situation, and I'm not going to just flip on my entire list when the postseason is not even done yet, because there has to be a climax to it.
But
Because
Cash, but Cash, like this is what's very important, bro. Like a factor of the equation that's very important is that hit Jokic sized up Anthony Davis and hit a step back 3 in his nose. Not once, but at least 3 times, bro. This guy Jokic was hitting step back threes over Anthony Davis, bro. And when I saw that, I'm just like, nah, bro. Like what? Like no one saw that coming, bro. You did not think that Jokic would hit step back threes over Anthony Davis, bro. Like from deep, bro.
no,
Like nobody thought that, bro. AK
it's
was
not.
the only one that thought that Anthony
Mm,
Davis would be draining step back threes in AD's eye, bro.
mm. But that's not my take, though, bro. You trying to switch up my analysis and trying
Like
to
that's
say
some
that
Kevin Durant shit, bro.
he needs to that I'm saying that he deserve that there's other players that deserve to be above him. Understand that I don't. This is why I don't like this whole top 10 conversation, especially during the regular season, because we're still presently watching basketball. Like when you guys talk about the top 10 player list, you guys literally bring that question up almost every week, and there could literally be no change. Unless you're talking about MVP conversation, that's entirely different. But if you're talking about top 10 players, and if your top 10 player can change last week and then next week it can change, no, that's something that's done by mainstream media at least once every year in the offseason. That's what they do. They do the top 100 players once every year. And I'm saying it's up for debate, and then it will be written and it will be on paper once this we'll have a better assessment once this series is all said and done. But that's not to say I'm not saying he's not going to be number 1. I'm just saying in order for him to feel more, in order for everybody to feel more comfortable about this, we would have to see him play through. We would have to see him finish this playoff, and I think that's a fair observation. But I wouldn't be against it after this postseason to have him at number 1. But I think a lot of people would feel confident to have him at number 1 if they see him win the title. Is my point.
Hey, bro, the only way Jokic is not number 1 if Jimmy Butler somehow becomes number 1. You know what I mean? Like that's the only way he's not number 1, and I don't see Jimmy
Mhm.
Butler like unless Jimmy Butler is averaging 50.
Mhm.
I don't see that happening because Jokic just does way more things on the court. He rebounds, he assists. But yeah, bro, I get everything you're saying,
But
bro.
here's my thing. Even if Jimmy Butler was to, even let's just say hypothetically, if the Heat were to beat Nikola Jokic, that's not going to increase how I look at Jimmy Butler when it comes to top 10 rankings. When it comes to best player in the world, right? He'll definitely be in there, cemented for sure. But that's not going to put Jimmy at 1 just because he just won the title. That's not how it works for me. You win the title, right? You win the title. You win the title. You win Finals MVP. Yeah, there's a lot of credit that comes with that. But understand, only certain players can receive that level of recognition. Just
No, I
because you
get
win,
that, bro. I get that. Be like, but what I'm saying, bro, the logic I'm coming from, yes, like if you win the title, you're not the best player in the world. That's why when Giannis won the title and everyone was hopping on his dick, I said that no, he's still not the best player in the world. But what I'm saying, Cash, is that if the Miami Heat were to win the finals, the only way that would happen in reality is if Jimmy Butler averaged like 40 plus, bro. You know what I mean? Like, it would take so much scoring from Jimmy Butler to beat a team like the Nuggets, who has guys like Jamal Murray and Nikola Jokic. And that's all I'm gonna say,
I
bro.
mean, and here's my thing about your take, bro, because it's still complete or bullshit that you're still trying to take that take, right? That just because Giannis and the Bucks had a flame out in the first round, that doesn't change, what Giannis has done for the league, especially since the guy played two games out of that six game series, out of that 5 game series, so he didn't play the whole series. Now, yes, that you can look at that as an excuse, but the guy didn't play. He got injured literally in the first game. So to say that, all right, he's not even a top 5 player, it's complete and freaking utter ridiculous.
Bro, he was never a top 5 player, bro. And that's no disrespect on Giannis, but there are 5 people that are better than him.
Yeah, okay, that's your opinion, bro. You say that there's 5 people that they're better than. At the end of the day, bro, they don't receive the recognition. They don't have the credibility like Giannis. They don't have the dominance like Giannis, right? Basketball is still basketball. It's not going to change.
And that's your opinion, bro.
Has been doing what he does for years. And understand this also, because you overlooked this, and I don't even know why you don't even talk about this, bro. The Heat, first off, the Heat are a better team than what they are. Right, because if you keep looking at Giannis and you say, "All right, he's worse
Sure.
because of the Heat," you're not giving any credit to how this Heat team has been playing, because they've been on a tremendous uptrend. Right, so
bro, you put words in my mouth, bro. Yo, there could be 2 truths at a time, bro. Giannis could be overrated, but the Heat could also be good at the same time. Just because I say Giannis is overrated doesn't mean I'm not giving credit to the Heat.
That's not what you're saying. But when you say that, you got to understand that that's what you imply, because you're saying Giannis isn't
not what I imply.
Player. But bro, understand this: he didn't play most of the series. He didn't even play half of it. He didn't even play most of the series. And understand, a team like the Heat, they're a high IQ team. They have somebody like Jimmy Butler. This is a team that they faced each other off in the playoffs numerous times. It's not just one time. It's not just a couple times. They faced each other numerous times. The year the Bucks won the championship, right? They swept the Heat that year. The year before that in the bubble, guess what? The Heat swept the Bucks that year. And then the following year after that, I forgot who the Heat. The Heat last year they played against the Celtics, and then they lost to the Celtics, right? So they have a history of going against each other, and then now we're familiar with last year. So you already know, right? If Giannis gets injured in that game 1, that momentum where the Heat saw that opportunity to steal that game 1, it would have been a different atmosphere, and then they wouldn't have that momentum moving forward. So that's why I feel like, you can't really have that full assessment and use that opportunity to downplay what Giannis has been doing, because guess what? Next year is going to be a fresh start. The Bucks are still going to be one of the best teams, and Giannis is still going to be an MVP candidate, bro.
Yo, bro, like, I hear everything you're saying, bro. And, like, you're doing a lot of storytelling, bro. You're saying that, next season's a fresh start, and that, the Bucks didn't have Giannis, and that, like, he only played 2 games. Like, you're doing a lot of recapping, bro. But what I'm telling you, fam, is that in an elimination game, if you shoot 10 for 23 from the free throw line, that has automatic, immediate ramifications, my G. Bro, this is what's happened, bro. You like, Cash, you don't understand how bad 10 of 23 is, bro. If you go to your local LA Fitness, everybody in that gym is hitting more than 10 of 23 from the free throw line, bro. Because you have to understand, bro, at a local LA Fitness, in a major metropolitan area, bro, in a place like LA, where you're at, bro, you're in Los Angeles. Everybody in that LA Fitness is playing ball every day, bro. Everybody's shooting, bro. There's no way that they're going 10 for 23 from the free throw line, bro. You don't understand how bad that is, bro. That's like 43. That's 43% from the free throw line, bro. That's not even 50, bro. So what that means, Cash, is that all the fans that are watching Giannis on TV, like I was, and everybody that had money on that game was thinking, how am I a better free throw shooter than a guy that's getting paid $34 million, bro? Like, the average person is better than 10 of 23 from the free throw line, bro. You know how easy it is to make a free throw, bro? Bro, you don't even have to be bro. you would never have to touch a basketball in your life, and you could probably shoot 10 of 23 from the free throw line, bro. Shooting free throws is not hard, bro. Like, you could just fucking shoot as a non-basketball player. You could get a couple lucky bounces and then it'll go in, bro. Like, 10 of 23 from the free throw line automatically means, bro, that you're dropping in rankings, bro. Fast, bro. Like, no other context matters, bro. 10 of 23 from the free throw line is horrendous, bro. That's like some G League stat, bro. I don't even know what that is, bro. That shit, bro, it was an embarrassment to the association. That's all I'm gonna say.
Okay, so let me take a different stance here then, because I mean you're clearly wrong here. I mean, understand this, right? And I can ask a question. First of all, let me ask this first question. So, are you saying, right, if a player shoots well from the free throw line, that doesn't make them a top 10 player? That
No,
doesn't
not
make
well,
them-
bro. Not well, bro. Don't try and change the conversation, bro.
No, I'm asking, no, but I'm asking you a question so you can answer for yourself.
If a player shoots well from the free throw line, bro, a player needs to, bro, to be considered a top 10 player, you need to shoot well. Yes.
Okay, all right. So traditionally in the past, that has not been the case. Okay, so understand that big men have not traditionally shot well from the free throw line, yet they were still considered the best players in the league.
Bro,
right? So
they shot 10 times better than 10 for 23, bro. Bro,
no,
fucking
that's
even,
not,
bro,
that's
like,
not,
even the
so
worst free throw shooters.
hold on. So you're saying every big man, right? That was considered the best player in the world or one of the best players in the world. You're telling me they shot better from the free throw line.
Yes.
You're saying Wilt shot better from the free throw line. You're saying Wilt Russell shot better from the free throw line. You're saying Shaq shot better from the free throw line. You're saying Kareem shot better from the free throw line. You're saying all these guys shot better.
Wilt's free throw percentage, I know Wilt's 3-point percentage because he's one of my favorite players. His career free throw percentage is 53% from the free throw line, bro. And Giannis shot 43% in an elimination game, bro. You have to understand, if Giannis shot 53% from the free throw line, which means he makes like 3 more free throws, they win that game. And they probably win the series.
So understand this, because since you love to, you want to use this analogy recently, right? Because understand this, right? Giannis is still a young player. He's still currently playing basketball, right? Now we talk up Luka Doncic up and down. We say he's going to be the best player moving forward, this and that, yada yada yada, right? I don't disagree, but here's my stance on Luka's situation. For one, he didn't make the playoffs. 2, right? Now, Giannis, you brought up the fact that he shot 45% from the free throw line. That's the first time he shot 40%, within 40% of the free throw line, right? First time in his career. Now, Luka, right, which I've explicitly said in the past, has not had a great free throw shooting career in the playoffs, right? And I brought that up in the past. Now, the first time in 2020 when he went to the playoffs, he shot 65% from the free throw line. In 2021, he shot 52% from the free throw line.
That's a lot better than Giannis.
Yeah, bro. All right. So you said that's a lot better than Giannis, right? So here's some more numbers for you then. So that 52% is less than the 7 years that Giannis had in the playoffs. So out of let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Out of the 8 playoff appearances that Giannis had, 7 of those seasons, Giannis has had a higher free throw percentage than Luka in that 1 year. So that doesn't. And my point is, every player is gonna have their flaws, bro. Every player is gonna have their fatalities. But at the end of the day, Giannis puts out way more than what his free throw average proceeds to be. So that's why that's not a deciding factor to me to say, all right, he doesn't deserve to be a top 3, top 5 player if he doesn't shoot crazy well from the free throw line, when traditionally big men have not shot well from the free throw line. And 2, he puts out way more, or he gives way more than what his free throw percentage implies.
I mean, he gives way more, like, other than free throws. Yeah, okay, yeah, that makes sense, bro. But like, free throw percentage is very indicative of what you shoot at the free throw line, bro. You know what I mean? That's what free throw percentage is. I mean, look, I get what you're saying with Giannis, bro. It's just, there has to be, like, that's just so bad, bro. Like, it's just cash. Like, basically, bro, like, I'm not gonna make it more complicated than it is. I'm coming from a place where I was watching that game, and my boys who play basketball are watching that game, and they're saying that Like it was an embarrassment, bro. Like to get paid that much and go 10 for 23 from the free throw line, bro. Like I said earlier, bro, you could never touch a basketball in your life. You could probably get 7 for 23, like at the free throw line, and you never play basketball in your life, bro. You could be a fucking like
That's
guy
not true,
from
bro.
India, bro. You could be a guy from India who's never even heard the sport basketball. You could be teleported into that game. You probably fuck around and shoot 7 for 23, bro. Like shooting free, like it's so easy, bro. And it's such an embarrassment, bro. There's some things that are worse than others, but that like it's so bad, bro. Like we just agree to disagree, bro. You're saying it's not that bad. I'm saying that
I
it
do not
embarrassed the
fucking
entire
say that,
league.
bro.
And there are
I do
very
not
few things
fucking
that
say that.
embarrass the entire
I do
league,
not
bro.
say
There are
that.
very few things. Dylan Brooks, low key, embarrassed the entire league, bro, by like fucking trash talking LeBron. But like that doesn't mean that he shouldn't have trash talked him, bro. It's just LeBron was the face of the league, and then Giannis doing what he did embarrassed the league because he's getting paid that much is a superstar to shoot 10 of 23. But those are the only two things that really embarrass the league, bro. Like to embarrass the entire franchise of the NBA, like you have to do some pathetic ass shit, bro. To be honest.
Yeah, I for one did not say that. I didn't say anything about that it's good. That's not what I said. I said every player has flaws, and you have to look at how much they give as opposed to how much they lack. That's why you would have a set team to build around those flaws, so that your star player isn't going to get exposed. That's why if you have a player like Giannis, that's why you compliment him by putting shooters, because he's not a shooter. He can give you 30, but he can also dominate in the paint and give you high efficient shots in the paint. Right now, that like understand this, Josh. I mean, you can have that opinion about free throws, but free throws, especially in the playoffs, mean a hell of a lot more in the playoffs than it does in the regular season. Now, that's not an excuse, for Giannis's free throw percentage, right? That did contribute to the Heat being able to take the series because of the fact that Giannis has shot poorly in that series. But understand this also, there were series in the past where Giannis has shot well, and that resulted in him winning a championship. So you can't look at Giannis having this sort of a postseason, especially when he missed games, and use that as an opportunity to say, all right, he's not what he seems to be, when he's already proven that he is that player. It's just moving forward, how much can he replicate that said success? So even when you talk about free throws, bro, like even when you talk about free throws, I guarantee you, all the star players that we bark up about, right, are not these players, bro. They're not these players that we talk about. Like I'm looking at the list right now from 1 to 30. Gordon Hayward has the number one free throw percentage. Mark Price, Calvin Murphy, Bill Sharman, Jamal Murray, Kiki, Hershey Hawkins, Danilo Gallinari, Steve Nash, Pija Stojakovic. I'm not gonna be able to say that. Kyle Korver, Reggie Miller, Dirk Nowitzki, Devin Booker, Kyrie Irving, Larry Bird. Like, bro, these are all, what these all have in common? These are all shooters, bro. Shoot. And then the more I even scroll down, it's going to be guards. It's going to be forwards. It's going to be players that can shoot, that knock down these free throws. So that's like saying, okay, yeah, he can't shoot threes. So he can't shoot threes, but we expect him to knock down his free throws, bro. That's just not part of his game, bro. It's just
No,
not.
bro. My argument is that like he doesn't need to be Kyrie Irving, Steve Nash level, but he needs to be decent, bro.
But
Like
understand this,
he
but hold on,
needs
hold on, hold
like
on, hold on. Understand this. Before you take that stance, though, did he not do that in the finals when he needed to?
I mean, yeah,
So isn't
but
is
but
so
but what
didn't
does
he
that
do
mean,
it? So didn't he do it when he needed to?
bro? He needed to do it against the Heat, bro.
Yeah, I
At the end of the
understand that.
day, bro, why
I,
like
and
Jokic
he
can
lost.
hit his free throws
Yes,
and
and
Dave
he
can hit
lost.
his free throws.
And he lost. But my thing about it is you can't try to bring this stance up again, because we've already went through this circle. We already did. We already went through that circle where we was like, okay, this guy, he hasn't won the championship. He hasn't been able to go far in the East. He hasn't been able to go to the Eastern Conference Final. He can't win, or he's limited in this. We've seen that before. This is not new with Giannis. This is
Yeah, I
a new
know, but
thing.
it's a different topic though. You know, the topic we had in the beginning of the season was that Giannis was a 65% free throw shooter throughout the regular season, which was shit. But now the topic is he shot 10 for 23, which is a 46%, which is 43% from the free throw line. And the reason why that's so bad, Cash, this is the reason it's so bad. Giannis averaged 14 free throw attempts per game. That's what he averaged. He averaged 14. So when he got 14 attempts for the free throw line, Giannis had 23 attempts, bro. The refs were giving the Bucks this game, bro. But he missed 13 free throws, bro.
But you know they're
That's
fouling
leaving
Giannis
13
for a
points on the
reason, though,
board,
right?
bro. Bro, if you average 13 points in the NBA, you're a solid role player. Like that's what KCP's giving you. He's giving you 13. Like that's solid role player numbers, bro. And he left that on the board off free throws. Like, bro, I'm sorry to sound like a broken record, bro. But like all I'm saying, oh shit. Yo, can you still hear me?
Yeah.
Oh shit, I thought I cut out. Never mind. Yeah, bro. All I'm saying, my guy, is that like I'm not talking about like Giannis being a bad free throw shooter in his totality. But what I'm saying is I'm taking that one game and I'm saying that he shot 43% from the free throw line in one game, bro, in an elimination game. Like I'm looking at that one game, I'm dissecting that one game, and I'm saying that even at your lowest of lows, it should not get to that point. You know, in your lowest of lows, in your most worst off day, it should never get to the point where he's shooting 43% from the line, bro. Like that's from the line.
No,
And
I agree. I agree.
yeah,
I got
yeah,
something to tell you though after this, but no, finish what you gotta say.
like what I'm saying is that other big man, bro, Shaquille O'Neal, he shot 50% from the line, bro. And that's like terrible, but that's still 7% better than 43%, bro. That's still like if instead of shooting what's it called? 10 for 23, Shaq would shoot 4 for Shaq would shoot 12 for 23 instead of 10 for 23 that game according to the math, 50%. And then he would win that game, you know. And then the Bucks go to game 6, and now they only have to win 2 more games, bro. The Bucks should have won that series, bro. The Bucks were going to win that series. If the Bucks won game 5, the Bucks would have come back and won the series, bro. The Bucks were a much better team than the Heat. They had much better players. Giannis was still unstoppable down low because even in that game where Giannis shot what's it called 10 for 23 from the line, he still put up I think like 33 points or something like that, bro. Bam's too small to guard Giannis, bro. Giannis is still a top 10 player. No one's saying that he's not. Obviously, he's top 10. But the reason he can't be top 5, bro, is because the Bucks offense gets super stale, whereas other players do not, bro. And this is just my last point, bro. This is just my last point. Just to reiterate, I'm not disrespecting Giannis, bro. I am just arguing that he should not be in the top 5, bro. There are 5 players better than Giannis, bro. Like, yo, it's making it sound like I'm disrespecting the guy, bro, but I'm not. All I'm saying is that 10 for 23 is so embarrassing that he has to get moved down, bro. That's all I'm saying.
So let me ask you this then, since we want to talk about percentages. Hey, AK.
Yeah.
Hey, what about that? What about that James Harden game, bro? he left. You see? Oh no, he's here. He's back in here. And so
Yo, my fault, my fault. You guys probably thought I ducked, bro. What do you mean, bro? What did James Harden shoot from the free throw line?
Let's look at those percentages, bro. So, like I said, man, when you bring up one thing for one player, you got to keep the same energy, man.
Yeah,
That's
bro,
why,
we keep the same energy.
bro, well, not in this instance.
What did James Harden shoot from the free throw line?
I would say Harden's last 2 games, is way more disastrous than Giannis's free throw was.
Absolutely not, bro. Not even close. Not even comparable, bro.
Damn.
What you think, AK? Which one?
It
What's
was a
worse,
fucking.
in your opinion?
I wouldn't. You know what? Like I said before, I wouldn't give. Um, I'll give more blame to Embiid in that series, but like, I wouldn't. But like, Harden is a close second. Not like this guy Josh says that it's like almost entirely Embiid and a bit of Harden. Like, Harden is a close up second, and by a lot. Like,
No,
he,
no, 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 bro. At the end of the day, bro, Embiid's the reason why they lost. Harden deserves no blame at all, bro. It's all Embiid's fault, bro.
oh,
Like, bro, like
so a
let's
guy
be
that
honest,
was
bro. Let's
already
be honest, bro.
MVP
How can Harden
when
deserve any blame, bro, when he was when he rose up to be the best Philadelphia 76er in the playoff series, bro? Harden signed up to be the second option, yet he
yeah, and
had to
second
carry the
options
team
deserve blame
just
too.
like
They're
he did back
second
in the Houston
options.
days. He had to carry the team just like how he did in the Houston days, bro.
Bro, so you want to say that number two, well, the second player doesn't deserve blame in any series. It's always number one option and number two option. They always
But
get the
Harden still
blame.
did his thing, bro. That's what you need
LeBron
to
and
realize,
AD
bro. He
both get
averaged
blame.
22. If you look at the totality of the
Curry and
series,
Clay
he
both
averaged
get blame.
22 points, bro. Yo,
Tatum
I'll
Brown
send a
both get
graphic to
blame.
Discord, bro, just to prove that these facts are accurate, bro. And Embiid averaged 24. Harden averaged 22. And what did Harden average in the regular season? 22. He played just as good as he played in the regular season, bro. His play did not drop at all, bro. Where Embiid, he averaged 33 and that dropped to 24, bro. Harden was the best player. Harden shot better than Embiid. Like, Embiid was trash, bro. How can you give any blame to Harden when the second best player rose up to be the first best player on the team?
Because of this, my friend. This is the reason why he failed you. Game 6, right here, bro. 13 points, negative, plus minus, bro. Minus 10, bro.
I mean, they all have negative
Five.
except Maxi.
I mean, but he's tied with Tobias for the worst. Tobias has 2 points. The other player who's tied for him for worst plus minus is Tobias Harris, and he got 2 points. All right, you already got the most free throws. He lead the team in free throws in that, right? Bro, he had 13 points. He was 0% from three. A guy who's transcendingly a three. You know, one of the players who heavily contributed to the 3-point era, right? 0% from three at home. This is a home game. 4 for 16, bro, in that series. Come on, dog.
Well, so that's more embarrassing than Giannis 10 for 23? What are we talking about?
No, yes, that's just as worse.
No, bro, you're tripping, bro. If you think that's more embarrassing than 10 for 23 from the free throw line, you're a bona fide hater, bro. And you actually don't believe that with your heart, bro. That, or you don't understand how easy making a free throw is, bro. Like, bro, if you put me in my fucking socks, bro. Now, fuck it, bro. If you teleported me right now into the fucking Sixers arena, bro, and I ain't wearing any shoes, any socks, bro, I'm still making 15 free throws minimum, bro.
No, you're not, bro.
You say, bro, nah, bro. Don't disrespect me now. Don't disrespect me now. I'm making minimum 15, bro. Honestly, I'll probably make 18, bro.
So
Free throws?
Bro, you're 5'8".
Bro, you need to have that on video. You need to prove that. With all that talking,
Free throws?
Yeah, I need you. If you could, so out of 20, what? How many would you make out of 20?
Out of 20? Out of 20, I'm making at least 14, bro.
Nah, bro, I don't believe that. I need to see
What?
that on video. I need
Bro,
to see
I don't believe that. And I've seen this guy.
Bro, free throws are not hard to make, bro.
Bro, you're talking about professionals, professional basketball players in the playoffs. They're the ones that's missing these free throws, and you're saying it's easy, bro. It's not. That's why there's so many you gotta understand. There's so many situations that these players are in, especially if you're on the road and you gotta knock those down, especially in the clutch too. That's a lot of pressure, bro. Not all players make all their free throws in those situations. It happens. It's very realistic, bro.
Bro, the reason why Giannis can shoot, bro, is because he as a slasher, you play so aggressive But like to shoot free throws, you need to be relaxed, bro. See, Giannis goes to the free throw line with that same temper, with that same anger, bro. Like, I don't know, bro. Like, I get what you're saying. He's a professional, but it's just embarrassing, bro. Like, it just, honestly, bro, it's just embarrassing, bro. Like now you're making me feel bad, bro. Like now you're making me feel bad. Like he's a professional athlete. He's working every day, and I don't want to question his ethic. I don't want to question
No,
his
that's not
heart.
that's not what I
So
mean by
like now I feel bad, but like I don't know, bro. It's just embarrassing, bro. I'm gonna just call it as it is. I don't want to say Giannis doesn't work hard. I don't want to say that he's uncoordinated. I don't want to say that like his brain isn't as sharp as like some of these shooters. But like I don't know, bro. Like I'm just keep it at that, bro. It's just embarrassing, bro. I'm just keep it at that. Hey, yo, AK, you need a way into this, bro. There's no way it's just me talking, bro. Like
Well,
you're
well,
like, yo,
well, wait,
AK,
hey,
bro. What
I
was
said
something
no
that makes
fucking excuse for fucking Harden. What the fuck, bro? How you gonna put all the blame on Embiid and completely erase Harden, who is a number two
yeah. And he's
bro,
player,
leaving too. That's the
as a
worst
number
part
two
about it. Like
player
bro.
everything we
been to
talk
the
about
finals,
it.
who has an MVP, had triple singles.
Yo, you guys keep asking me the same question, but you don't respond to a very,
Triple
very
singles.
objective stat that I keep presenting. I keep presenting this one stat, and you guys look the other way, bro. Let me just find it
What's that?
so Cash
Yeah.
can bring it up, bro. Let me just find it so Cash can bring it up, and then
I'll
like
tell you,
I need
bro.
you
What
guys to
category
actually
are you talking
analyze
about?
this stat, bro, because
What
I keep
category are you talking
mentioning a stat, and you guys are sweeping it under the rug
What
like it
category are you
doesn't
talking
exist,
about?
bro.
The
And
assist?
it,
You talking about the assist?
not the assists, the points per game during the play. I'll bring it up. I'll bring
Bro,
it up,
but
and I
he
need you
had
to,
13-9 in 2 closeout games, bro. There's nothing to talk about with that series. They lost, bro.
bro. You're talking about 2 games.
Bro, those
The
were pivotal games, bro. Those were literally both those games were to close the series out. Understand the weight of the magnitude and the weight of those games. Those games, if Harden plays well, they close the game out. Point blank, period, bro. Point blank, period. There's nothing to discuss there. If Harden plays better in those games, they close the series out.
well, same could be said about Embiid.
Oh, well, of course, bro. I'm not saying he's not excused from this conversation. The topic here that me and AK are trying to make is that Harden is not he's not free from this, bro. You're trying to say he
But
doesn't. When he had let me see 13 or my head math ain't that great. 13 plus 9. He had 20. So you say he averaged 22 points in that series. He had 22 points in those final 2 games. So he had his series average in those in 2 elimination games, bro. And mind you,
bro, yeah, I'm bringing up the stats right now.
and mind you, I look at Harden as an MVP caliber player because he was that player. Come on, bro, look it up, man. This is probably the first time. Hey, those ESPN keyboard buttons are dusty as hell on your keyboard, Josh.
That was probably the first time, bro.
He's looking at the 76ers box score in that series, AK. In those
Nah, not the first time. Not the first time, bro. Bro, all I
Damn,
know
Harden scored
is
9 points.
just touching my keyboard, bro. That's crazy. Yeah, this guy can't make me jokes, bro. This guy said my keyboard
God
dusty,
damn.
bro. Nah, you wrong for that, bro. That's crazy, bro.
But yeah, man, and then even adding on to something else that I wanted to point out also was that even though Shaq did he made some clutch free throws down the line, but if you even look at this though too, right? Shaq had some horrendous playoff shooting nights like in 2006, 2007, right? And that year, bro, he shot 33%, shot 33% from the free throw line. Right? If you scroll down, 2005, 2006, another year, 37%. Dwight Howard on the Rockets that year when he was with James Harden, right? 36%. Now, he's not, at that time, he wasn't a transcendently great player, but, that's just showing, hey, bro, it's common with these big guys, bro. Ben Simmons, we've seen how poorly he shot, 34%. He had the worst free throw percentage. I think it was like 25% in that series against the Hawks. That was the worst in NBA history. So obviously, I mean, Ben Simmons is not no Giannis, but but I think that speaks, a little bit of level of what Shaq, Shaq having his struggles at the free throw line. But I feel like situations apply. But to give to give you some leeway here, Giannis does have to shoot better in these situations in order for them to move forward. But even as I look at this list that I'm showing you right now, Giannis isn't even on this list for the worst free throw shooters of all time, bro. And Shaq is on here a couple times. Dwight Howard's on here a couple times, right? Even Gary Payton is on here.
Mm-hmm. Hey, man.
Yeah, on playoff numbers. 22, 8, 5, 8, man. I said, bro. 40-40. 40-40, man. 40-40.
Hey, man. Embiid really disappointed me this playoffs. I thought he would rise to the occasion. I thought he would show the world that he's clutch. Thought he would show the world that dominance is that his dominance is too much for NBA players to handle, bro. But Al Horford was guarding him, and he wasn't dominant, bro. If Al Horford could guard you, bro, you're not dominant. Just plain and simple.
I hear y'all. I hear you.
All right. What about shift to your Lakers?
I kind of want to say that for another time when I get some more people on here, though.
Yeah, that's
You know,
fair.
'cause
You're actually right. Yeah, I need your boys to be on before
I
come
know.
out.
I want to get people on here to have that conversation. Because trust me, I do want to elaborate more on that. But I at least wanted you to get your steam off. Let you know. Get your nuggets right out.
Yeah, yo, the Nuggets are gonna win a championship, bro. So foregone conclusion.
No,
Yeah.
I don't doubt it. Not in the slightest, bro. At least with this, where they're at now, they deserve to be favorites, as they should. They're the number one. They're the only number one standing number one seed right now. But I think there's some pointers to take away from the Heat. I think they have an argument to definitely making competitive. I mean, you have a different type of grind from this team with the Heat. Now I know that they're plagued with injuries. They're missing some players, so and it's a miracle for them to have even gotten this far to begin with. But I feel like with the Miami Heat going against the Denver Nuggets, you're dealing with a different team here. Now, it really depends on what type of Miami Heat we see, in that series if it were to go down. Right now, the things I would like to point out really mainly is kind of what type of Miami Heat are we going to see shooting wise. Now, field goal percentage, we know that they can knock them down. We know that they can get their shots up, but really where they've stood out and grown from their regular season success as opposed to their playoff success is that they shot 1,000 times better from the three than they did in the regular season, which attributes to them being the 27th ranked offense in the league. But that has proven to have been a completely different story here moving forward, right? And then even though the Nuggets have improved on their defense throughout this playoff run, I think you're dealing with a different beast here with Jimmy Butler, Bam, and potentially Tyler Hero, right? I mean, you're dealing with a younger team. You're dealing with a much more experienced team that's been in this situation before. You're dealing with a team that has high level IQ basketball attributions. So it's gonna be a chess match. It's definitely gonna be one of the biggest chess matches in the NBA Finals, and so I think the Heat are gonna make this series very interesting. But yeah, man, if you guys are tuning in, hey man, like the video, show some love. You know, I'm not even asking for a donation right now, but just show some love. Like the video, man. This Cash Media. You already know. Out here doing our thing. Right? So I don't know where Josh is at. And I got some work I want to finish up on. I think we've got a substantial amount of basketball to talk about. So you know what? I think I'm gonna key it off here, man. I'm gonna key it off here. So I hope you guys liked the video, like the things that we said and talked about. AK, you have anything you want to get off your chest?
Well, what had to be said is said. Nuggets on top and Lakers on bottom, as usual.
Okay, we'll save that for another one. I'll kick you. I'll cook you on there about that too. All right, though, bro. I'll let you later. Then.
Bro, peace.
All right, you guys. Thank you for tuning in to Cash Media. Love y'all.